Oh my God. Big show. Big show.
Big show.
I mean, it's on.
3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my God. Do I look like a sugar babe or what?
Well, you look like something.
A sugar babe with a lot of crow's feet.
No, you'd be a hot sugar babe.
Oh, I wouldn't. Because we have a sugar babe in studio and she's way more gorgeous.
Yeah, she's real hot.
Oh, real hot.
She's real hot.
Crew, we are live on our YouTube. It is the Hey Frase Show. I am your host, Sarah Fraser, along with AJ on the mic. We are here in studio today, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We started right on time because today is a very big show. Everybody is super excited. There is a buzz in the studio. We know that you guys have been so excited about this show. In fact, many of you have DM'd and messaged me saying that you are live on the show or going to be live on the show, standing by taking notes. And I want to remind you, okay, this is a podcast and a YouTube video that stays up forever. So you can hit rewind. You can go back 20 seconds. You go back 10 seconds. You actually don't need the notebook because this lives here forever. That was like the best.
You have a lot of freedom here. You got a lot of wiggle room. You can forward, backward, speed up.
It was the best part yesterday because people are so excited about this. But I was getting all these messages. I'm standing by with my notebook. I was like, there's really no need.
But we love that they're getting excited. They're going to take notes.
Yes. So if you haven't heard the news, today we have a woman who came into town specifically for this. We're not going to give you any more detail. She's concealing her identity because she is a sugar babe. What is a sugar babe? A sugar babe is a woman that has a sugar daddy that can make anywhere from $500 a month to $5,000 a month or more, essentially from dating older men in most cases that have a lot of money. And I'm so fascinated by her. You need to follow her on Instagram. Her Instagram is Sweet Talk Blog, where she gives all kinds of tips, tricks, and essentially has a network of sugar daddies and sugar babes, okay? And now is an interesting time in our society and lives because people have more college debt than ever. Cost of living is extremely high. If you want to start your own business, if you want to be out there in the world, it is really tough. So a lot of people are turning to these relationships, which 95% of the time are very safe, where they are dating and most of the time, although we'll find out from our sugar babe if they're engaging in sex, but for money and then going on and having these amazing lifestyles. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I could be decked out in Gucci and Louis Vuitton today. Here I am wearing ASOS sale rack.
Well, hey, it's cute.
Okay.
Hey, you're trying.
I mean, where is my Gucci
you could be
belt?
You could be wearing the Louis. You'd be wearing the Gucci, the Prada.
So she's here. So we are going to ask all of your questions. You have so much. I am so fascinated by this, AJ. Like, what is for you the biggest question that you want to know from our sugar babe? Do you have like any idea?
The biggest one is like, how far do I have to go? Can I literally just talk on the phone and like make a couple thousands? Can I quit the Hey Frase podcast and just
No, absolutely not. What's wrong with you? That's the worst.
I'm kidding. No, this is what I went to school for. So I got to do something with my life, right?
Yes.
No, like I will. Oh my God.
Oh, we hear her.
Oh, we hear her.
What are we? Yeah, she's here. And by the way, Sweet Talk, you just pop in here anytime because we're just going to take care of some commercials. And then we're so excited to get you on because people really want to hear from you.
I'm excited.
Are you? We can't believe you're here, that you came in for this.
I know. I'm so nervous.
You're so nervous. Oh, don't be nervous at all. Your identity is 100% concealed.
I know. I can't figure out why I'm nervous.
Yeah, just have fun with us. We're a bunch of goofy old ladies, so feel comfortable.
Well,
Okay.
one of us. The other one's like super young. But I want to, before we like formally introduce her and then start kind of asking your questions. And by the way, if you have a question, you can leave it on our YouTube stream right now. So be subscribing to Hey Frase. Most of you are already here. Tell a friend about it. People are telling you, by the way, Sweet Talk, don't be nervous, girl. Build your brand. Do your thing.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Reverend Stewart is on. He's a big fan. He says, hey, you guys, you're always looking so gorgeous and you have $1 million smiles. Thank you. Now you can Cash App us at Hey Frase.
I gotta look up my Venmo. It's always like Andrea dash something dash.
Sarah says, woohoo, I have been waiting for this. All right, so look, we don't want to keep you waiting, but we do want to thank a couple of our sponsors. We also want to tell you Free to Move car sharing app. They have been an awesome sponsor of the Hey Frey Show. They are actually live here today. So we're going to have Natalie on, who works Free to Move. They're in DC. They're going to expand to Northern Virginia. We're going to tell you all about them. She's going to tell you some really great things that are happening. And of course, we'll give you a discount code so you can jump on, get on the app, and of course, save money. We do want to thank Cheers Health that is sponsoring the show today. So if you're like me, if you're like AJ, of course, we enjoy a couple of alcoholic beverages. But when you get to like your 30s, and I'm only like 31, like 1 year over, you have one or two and they begin to catch up with you. Like you still feel a little fuzzy in the morning.
I'm not looking forward to that.
I know. Well, you don't even get like you.
Well, that's the dangerous part.
Yeah, you like have one and you're like 20, you're all set. But anyway, let's be honest. So once you do hit that age, 25, 30, even moderate responsible drinking can leave you feeling less than 100% the next day. Well, Cheers offers a solution to this universal problem. Like an antacid for alcohol, Cheers neutralizes alcohol's negative effects so you can wake up feeling great after a night of drinking. They've actually been on Shark Tank, and these guys have scientific research behind Cheers. This product helps you drink responsibly and then feel great in the morning. Cheers exists to bring people together by promoting fun, responsible, and health-conscious alcohol consumption. We love all that. Just the other night, AJ came over for dinner. I had like a glass and a half of wine, and I was just feeling like a little fuzzy. Now, I don't have to because I have Cheers. Boop, you pop that, and it just helps with that 1 or 2 glasses of wine so you wake up feeling refreshed. To use Cheers, simply take 2 to 4 capsules after your last alcoholic beverage or before you go to bed. I love doing that. If you don't wake up feeling at least 50% better the next day, you'll get your money back guaranteed. You'll love it. It's like this perfect little multivitamin that just helps you feel better the next day. To order, visit cheershealth.com. You can enter promo code FRASE at checkout to get 10% off your first order and a free gift. That's cheershealth.com, promo code FRASE for 10% off and a free gift with your first order. Cheers, the best thing to happen to alcohol since alcohol. So again, go to cheershealth.com. It's promo code FRASE for 10% off. We also love our friends at Advantage Financial. In fact, so many of you have signed up for accounts, and the loan sale is doing so well that they have extended it. So maybe this summer you're thinking about putting in a pool at your home, buying your first home, buying a boat, motorcycle, any of that. Their loan sale is extended through the entire month of May with 50% off. Rates as low as 3.64. You can visit advfcu.org/loan sale. Borrow up to $30,000 with a rate as low as 3.64. That's like nothing. Are you kidding? Some of these places want to charge you like 12%, 15%. Your dreams of having a handy-dandy loan, maybe it's even for your new business, are all now within reach. Take 50% off a 24-month personal loan, rates as low as 3.64%. Again, visit advfcu.org/loan sale. We love Advantage Financial. They keep their rates super low because they're a credit union, which means their board never gets paid. All that money goes back to you. Sign up for an account. If you mention, hey, Fraser, you get $50 in your account, boop, just when you sign up. AJ, tell us also about Cryotherapy Advantage. You did it for the first time. Then you did it as a video of you as Kourtney Kardashian. Kourtney.
Cryotherapy is awesome. We went over to Cryotherapy Advantage. Over where?
It's in Chantilly, Virginia.
Chantilly. Basically, what you do, you go into temperatures of negative 200 degrees to regenerate your cells, to heal soreness. If you are huge and like active people as old as, she said she has like a 92-year-old.
Yeah, they hop in minus 200 degrees. The 91-year-old. Her dentures are like they're like falling out. They're like chattering.
All right. It's not that cold. But you feel super energized after. Your energy levels are great. You sleep better. I was really scared to go in at first because it was my first time. It was Sarah's second, and we ended up having a great time. So head on over. If you let them know that you are a Hey Fraser listener, your sessions are only $25. They have amazing other things, spot treatment, facials, which is really cool, cryotherapy facials.
50% off with Hey Fraser code. So it's only $150, 20 minutes, blast your wrinkles. It's like they call it like a mini facial.
Those wrinkles.
I mean, it feels so good. They like freeze your face, and they do a before and after. And if you're not happy, like 100% satisfaction. And they actually show you like my face is all droopy before, and then it's like beautiful.
You can actually. I saw the results after.
I did too.
I was filming the whole damn thing.
But no, it perfect. Cool. I'm looking for my sugar daddy.
Edit. Yeah, we need to look as best as possible for all these sugar daddies. So head on over, you guys. I loved it. And if I'm a little scared of like cold, I don't like the freezing cold. I like, warm temperatures. But this isn't really that bad. You hop in there, you feel great, 3 minutes, and you're out in a jiffy.
Yeah, cryotherapyadvantage.com. Look, we know today that none of you are here for us. We know that you are here to find out about a sugar baby lifestyle. And Sweet Talk, that's what we're going to call her because she's not revealing her identity as she is a active sugar babe. And I don't blame her. I love a woman that keeps it mysterious.
I do too.
And she's going to answer every question. So without further ado, here she is, the fabulous curator, a sugar babe herself, a brave woman living this awesome lifestyle that we are so curious about. Please give a warm welcome to Sweet Talk Blog. She's here. Yes. Yes. She's in this sugar baby box. We love it. All right.
Hey.
Let's start from the beginning because we're already getting tons of questions. People want to know, if there's an age limit cutoff. They want to know all the details. But first of all, tell us how you even became a sugar babe.
Where do I start? So I actually had no idea what a sugar baby was originally. In the city that I live in, I feel like it's a pretty popular thing. And guys actually approach you and offer. And so the offer to pay for your time, I remember the first time that it happened, I had to go to work. And a guy's like, well, I want to have dinner and drinks. And I'm like, well, I can't. I have to work. It's important. And he was like, well, how much do you think you're going to make at work? And I tell him, and he's like, well, I'll pay you 3 times whatever you're going to make at work to come have a drink with me.
3 times?
Okay, wait. Tell us how much you were making on average, like that night at that job.
I probably was only going to make $400.
So this man was going to pay you $1,200, skip your shift that night, and come hang out with him.
Yes, and he did. And I didn't know what to expect at all because it was my first time. So I remember I wore a dress that was entirely too short, number one. He was very upper echelon, so he did not like the dress. We had steak and lobster, and I tried to grab my lobster. He's a special case, so this is not always like this, but I tried to grab my lobster tail and remove the meat out like normal people do with a fork.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you going to use your hands, really? And I'm like, well, how else do you do it? And he calls someone else over to remove it out, and then we have 2 glasses of wine, and then he has to go to sleep because he was jet lagged.
He called somebody else over to the table to remove the meat from the lobster tail? I've been doing
I would have brought out my shucking knife and would have done it right there on the table.
I would have sucked the meat out like most Mainers do. This is another level. By the way, I want to just tell people, because I want to get into this too. If you see, because you're in a network too of other sugar babes, you are very beautiful though, I have to say. I mean, you're tall, I hate using the word thin, but you're very gorgeous.
Keep it tight.
Stunning,
Thank
keeping
you.
it tight, long, gorgeous hair. You're very professionally dressed as well. Because that was what I was curious too. I was like, well, what's she going to look like? Yeah.
Right.
But absolutely stunning. How tall are you?
I'm actually only 5'8". I
Only
wish I could
5'8".
get
Only?
knee surgery to be taller.
That's great. And plus heels, you got 5'10".
Yes.
That's great. That's a great height.
So, okay, so that was the first experience that you had, and you realized very quickly in one night that you can make $1,200. Not only that, but he takes you out for wine and lobster.
Right. I also thought that maybe I wasn't prepared for this type of lifestyle just because he was so picky on everything. And then as I not found more people, but as I got a second offer and then a third offer, I realized that he was just specifically, everybody's different. So it didn't happen like that for me, from then on. But that first date kind of taught me that I needed to learn a little bit more about etiquette, how to dress. I needed to change my fashion maybe.
So each case is different, right? So some guys like you to be modestly dressed, and some guys probably want a little bit different, right?
Yes.
Okay. You just have to know.
So, okay, so you end up getting this sugar daddy who approaches you, but you quickly realize there are other sugar daddies out there. Now, see, I would be confused as to how you even know. Well, this guy was very forward, though. He basically said to you, I'll pay you 3 times what you're making. Come out with me.
Yeah.
And then are you still in touch with this guy?
Yes, I am. We're still friends. And this was maybe 5 years ago.
Now, how did you collect the money? So you go out, did he pay you that night?
Yes, he did. He actually, because the restaurant was connected to the hotel, but they're separate, but they were connected. So he asked me to go up. And when he did, I was so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen because this is my first date ever. I don't really know how to handle it. And then he was already pretty like vocally aggressive with everything I was doing. And so I go up, he literally turns around, hands me the money, and then he says, okay, I have to go to sleep now. I'm tired. And so then I walk out.
Sounds fantastic. I'd be like, see, sayonara. Now this was
is my
cash.
dream.
I know,
What?
right?
Okay, but we're going to get into that because reading on your Instagram, it does sound like I think I saw a graphic that you had actually put up about because that's the big thing that I want to know is I'm assuming you're in how many sugar daddy relationships currently?
Well, I want to say maybe 3 to 4, but they all live internationally, so I don't get to see them often. Like some I see, well, one I see once every 4 months, one I see once a year, the other one I might see once every 2 or 3 months.
And on average, how much money are you making from these sugar daddies? Like, how much do you feel like you bring in?
Like all together or separate?
All together.
Oh my goodness.
Can we put a number on that? I don't even.
Like, I can't even count that high.
Like, sheesh.
I spend a lot of money, but I feel like I maybe at least make between $7,000 and $10,000 a month.
wow.
Just from the dates.
Just from the dates. And they don't even live in this country.
No, and they're all fun. I like them all so much. If I could marry them all, I would.
Oh, wait, they're fun? Are any of them, are you physically attracted to any of them?
Yes, all of them. I'm lucky.
Okay, is there like a list serve we can get on? Because what I'm
Well,
scared
we're going
of
to
is
ask her
that-
about that, yeah, because I
Oh,
want to know
yeah.
from Sweet Talk what the best webs, because there's a lot of websites out there. Okay, so you actually genuinely, I'm assuming though over the years there have been sugar daddies that you have not clicked with, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
oh,
so
my goodness.
how do you break up with a sugar daddy?
Oh my gosh, I am so hardcore sometimes. I remember I went on a trip to San Francisco with one of my sugar dads who I actually met here in DC. And we go to San Francisco, and by this time we've already been dating for about 6 months, and I'm kind of fed up with him. He always blames his hard, stressful job on me. Oh, I had a long day at work, and you don't even do this. And I'm like, what? It's my fault? So we go to San Francisco, and we are literally there for maybe 30 minutes, and then he's complaining about his job. So I packed my bag, and I just left, and I didn't have anywhere to go, but I left. And then I just, kind of hit up some of my other friends that I used to date and told them that I was stranded in San Francisco, and they got me a better hotel than I was already at. And then I just stayed out all night and met new people.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
Sounds incredible. Yo,
come
my ass
always-
is stranded out here in San Fran. Hit me up with the Ritz-Carlton, and you're ready to go. And then you just go out at night on the town. That sounds amazing.
And my mom gets so stressed. She's like, you can't do that. And I'm like, Mom, but you could just do it. Just do it. If you want to break up with him, just do it. Just do it. It's easy. Just leave.
Okay, so that brings up a good question because I'm curious about your family. Like you get into this lifestyle. How long ago did you really become a sugar babe?
3 years ago.
3 years. So you've been doing this for about 3 years. You average anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. Does your family know that you live this lifestyle?
Yes, they do.
And have they had any objections, or how did they feel?
So my mom has always known that I like older men. I'm genuinely attracted to older men. And they found out about 3 years ago because I was dating the guy that actually bought my truck. He was one of my favorites, but he was also one of my least favorites, but he did the most for me. He kind of rearranged my whole entire life and, took me up to the next level. So he flew 10 of my family members in for my birthday. And that's when everybody got to me. And they already heard about him. I'm saying I'm dating this guy. 2 months after I started dating him, he flies them in for my birthday, which is January, and for Christmas, and he gives me my Range Rover while they're there. And then
Wait, I thought we were talking about like a Ford
Me
Bronco.
too. I thought you had like a Ford fucking, pickup truck, like a whole thing, like a whole open back.
Suited
What?
pickup truck. We're talking a Range.
yes.
Oh my
The
God.
game has changed, y'all.
And so that's when my family met him, and they loved him. He's really sweet. He's also he's like a Sour Patch Kid, but they loved him.
First they're sour, then they're sweet.
Yes.
I like that.
And a little round.
A little gummy.
Yes. And so they liked him. I'm not sure if they 100% liked him, because they got to know him and enjoyed him, or if they liked him just because, he was kind of taking care of me, and I wasn't calling home anymore.
Wow. Now, okay, so these guys, a lot of people are asking right now on YouTube if these men are married. So I'm wondering, like, are these guys from all different backgrounds? And I mean, certainly we have you here. I don't judge because people have all kinds of different arrangements, and you never know what someone's arrangement is in their own household. But tell us what the guys. I mean, are these guys lonely? Because I'm trying to think too, putting myself in the guy's perspective.
Right.
I'm assuming they love this arrangement because maybe they pop in and see you. They're getting something physically out of it, and then they're gone. But still, they are cutting you like $3,000 or a Range Rover, $100,000 vehicle. So, like, are they married? Are they just lonely? Do you feel like these guys are kind of like fucked up and have mom issues? Like,
oh my goodness. So the one that actually bought my Range Rover, he's very lonely. His ex-wife cheated on him, and he's like bitter about it. Oh my goodness, I heard about it almost every single day. The rest. I actually pray a lot. So I pray to find men that aren't married just because, I mean, it's not a morals thing, or I just, I would prefer to just do what's right, but
you're not judging,
I don't stick
but
to it, So if I meet one that's married, and I like them, then I'm going to go for it. But I'm always very respectful as I can possibly be. So I don't overly reach out to them. I wait till they reach out to me. And most of my married ones, they all live out the country.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
And so you see those more seldom.
Right.
Okay. But you talk to them on the phone.
All the time. Yeah.
And what kind of industries are these guys in?
Oh my goodness, they're amazing.
Really? Like, they're just great business people.
They're actually so amazing that I think I should be making more money. I asked for a raise.
You're like, wait a minute. You probably make way more. You can afford way more, right?
Yeah.
Is anyone else in love with this
feel
woman?
like
I love
they're
you.
lowballing me. Because
Like, you bitch, shell out more, okay? I know you have it in there.
I see you twice a year. I get $10,000 a month from you. It's not enough. I need more.
Pay up.
So most of the ones that are married have very high-profile jobs. One owns a banking institution.
Okay.
And the other owns a very large oil company, and he was on the cover of Forbes magazine.
Oh my God! Quickly hits Google.
Forbes oil.
And one of my most recent ones, he's actually not married. I like him so much, but he's just so busy that I don't get to see him. Actually, it's funny that I say I like him. I've never met him.
Really?
He was referred to me. So most of the high-profile ones are referred to me by another friend that I have, and I call this friend the plug. He plugs me into everyone that I need to meet. So he will introduce me to his friends. He'll be like, oh, I have a friend in town. Can you come over? We're going to all go out. And then that's how I usually meet these guys. And so he referred the other guys to me, and the guy started randomly texting me. And he sends me money every month. We've never met. And we talk on FaceTime and stuff all the time. And I really, we get along very, very well, even though it's only digitally. I wish I could see him more because he's the not married one. I'm like, I think.
The one that we know isn't married.
But we understand.
But the reality, all right, so this does sound glamorous, and we're going to get into the sex part. But
okay.
At the same time, you seem like you end up playing therapist to these guys because they sort of use you as well to like unload all their shit, right? Like what's going on with their other relationships,
right.
If they're married or they're separated. I mean, how much of your job is basically like you meet up with them, but then they're like throwing all of their like woes on you?
So the American guys that I meet actually talk a little bit more about what's going on in their life. And the guys that I meet that are more international actually know nothing about what they do. Some of them don't even know that I know what job they have, what career.
Really?
Yes. Like the one that does the oil, he doesn't even know that I know his real name.
Okay, so talk to us about the actual physical part, because we were reading on your Instagram, some of your suggestions to someone who wants to become a sugar baby or land a sugar daddy is to put off sex as long as possible. Why do you give that advice?
Just because it's always, for me personally, I'm a sapiosexual. That's what they call it, right? I like to get to know someone, and that really kind of helps to turn me on. So I don't get turned on, even if you have a lot of money. Unless you're super handsome too. I don't usually get turned on just by meeting you. So getting to know the person better, I think, will build better chemistry. You guys will get along better. If you find out that you don't like them, you haven't wasted your time or gave away your body. And I do stand by prolonging it.
That part seems hard for me, like, to negotiate, right? Because who usually brings it up first? Did they? I mean, is that something that's usually, I'm sure every woman's experience, and I'm assuming we'll get into too, because you said there are a few men that do this that you know. But when does that topic usually come up?
I think it depends on how you carry yourself.
Okay.
I felt like when I was a little bit younger, if I kind of figured out like certain trigger words that'll kind of lean into sex talk. So, excuse me. I stay away from like being too touchy-feely. On like the first few dates, I just talk about political things. I'll talk about things to make them not bring up sex, if that makes sense. So I don't know exactly how I do it, but I try to avoid anything that'll trigger that thought in their mind.
Okay.
And then it'll help prolong it. But when I was younger and I used to wear more risky things and I didn't care about what we talked about, I don't know, I might even engage in something like, start talking about strip clubs and stuff like that. And that'll take you into the realm of, you like strip clubs? Are you attracted to girls? And then from there, just roll and spiral into the conversation that I'm usually not ready for.
Okay, so you've obviously gotten your confidence to the point that you feel as though you drive the conversation.
Yes, and that's the important part.
And so what's your other sugar babies experiences in your realm? Because I'm also, a lot of people have questions too. They want to know were you ever in a bad situation? Because, I mean, a little bit you are very vulnerable.
Yes.
Once you go to dinner with these guys, eventually you're going to their hotel room or, you're going somewhere. So that's kind of the scary part. Have you ever been in a situation you felt was potentially could have gone bad?
I actually have not. I believe that you attract exactly what you want. So I think about the positive relationships that I can have, and I feel like that's what I attract. I mean, amazing people. I mostly deal with people that have things to lose, so that it's a little bit more safer for me. I do have friends that have issues. So I have other sugar friends, and the ones that don't carry themselves correctly and haven't really truly found out who they are, because that's also the important thing, to know who you are, what you'll stand for, what you won't stand for, and be a firm believer in the word no, or I'm not doing that.
You have to know your boundaries, right?
Yes, because if you don't, then things will sway and, you kind of lose control of the situation. But if you do know exactly who you are and know your boundaries, then you kind of, as the woman, you take control of the relationships. But I haven't had any bad experience. The worst experience was me going to San Francisco and then just leaving on a whim.
So nobody's ever had like some bizarre sex fetish, like
they have that, but I'm
it's okay. But I'm assuming too, like these guys probably want like some crazy sex. Like, I mean, you're doing all the sex that we want. You're getting tied up. Are you tying these guys up?
Yeah, I have. I guess that's how. So I eased my way into the sugar. I've tried so many different things. I was in the adult entertainment business first. I actually was a waitress first. Then I went into at Tilted Kilt. So, you wear the short skirts and the tops.
Tilted Kilt. Okay, so Tilted Kilt, yep.
And then I went into the adult entertainment business. I was already wearing short skirts. I took it up to the next level. And now I'm wearing nothing. And then
so basically meaning you became like a adult entertainer, stripper. Yeah, stripper. Oh, please. My dream was always to become a stripper median, where I would like do stand-up comedy at the strip club. So I would like tell jokes and then take it off. But it was really the problem is my body is just, it doesn't really look like yours. I would say like, I don't know. It's sort of like dudes into like women that have already had kids. I don't know. Is there you've already given birth fetish? Like, is there that? Because that's like my body.
There's a fetish for everything.
Really?
So that's what else. So while in the entertainment business, I met a guy who had fetishes, and he introduced me into the fetish world a little bit more. And so I started becoming a dominatrix. And so I did dominatrix work for a while. And then I just went full-blown into sugar babying. And I think that the dominatrix world and the fetish world helped me out, because now I just feel like I have more knowledge on things. If someone asks me something weird, I remember the first weird thing that I ever got asked that I thought was weird at that time, but now that I'm older, I know it's not weird. But a guy was like, "Can you lick my nipples?" And I'm like, "No, you need to lick mine."
That's like the weirdest thing.
Wait,
really?
that's the creepiest thing they've asked you to do?
No, we want to get to the part where the strap-ons and you electrocute them.
Yeah, so that was the weirdest thing in the beginning when I was younger to me. But as I got more involved in the world that I was in, I started to realize that was nothing.
I'll lick a nipple.
Yeah,
so, right. But yeah, I've had to do what they call pegging. Right?
Oh,
you know
sure,
what pegging
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
putting an object into some guy's butt.
I've actually had some very weird fetish guys, and these aren't usually my sugar dads. These are guys that have just paid me for the fetish stuff. So I've had like diaper baby.
What?
A grown man that wears a diaper and he says, "Mama, mama."
What do? You feed him a bottle?
No, we actually used to Skype. So we would Skype.
Wow.
He would pay me per minute to watch him on Skype, like,
Just in his
wank off
diaper.
in his diaper. And then he had like words on the wall like sissy, bedwetter.
Is this like
loser.
a grown man with a job?
What?
So he says he doesn't have a job. But sometimes it's all in the mental just to get their fantasy going and their fetish rolling out. But he said he doesn't have a job. His mom leaves him in there. And because he lost all bladder control, he has to wear a diaper.
What? Does he show his face? I know, right?
Yes, he shows
on.
his face. We're close friends.
Oh my God, you are a saint because the minute he starts it, I'd be like, dude, you're 40. Go turn on the lights.
And he loves that. He's like,
Okay,
you have to,
you know,
you definitely have to
talk
be
him
mean.
down.
Oh, yeah. And
what?
that's the hardest part because I'm really nice and I have to be like, oh, you're such a loser. And he's like, yeah, I'm a loser. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
Dude, you got a full beard. Like you can help yourself.
oh my gosh, they would love you.
There, you
Oh
gotta
my
get on.
God.
We gotta have you. We gotta have
What
you.
about insult fetishes? Are there those? So, okay, but here's the thing. As Sweet Talk, as we go down this road, though, it seems like what is the difference between being a sugar babe and a prostitute for a better sense of the word? I mean,
Yeah.
people watching and listening to this are probably thinking, okay, obviously
Pretty
you're
close.
a grown woman, you're over the age of 18, you can do what you want, but it does seem like you have created your own business, but it's a fine line between prostitute and sugar babe, right?
There is. It's a very fine line. I feel like it's hard for me to talk on the sex workers because I don't know exactly what their job entails. But from what I believe, their payments are prearranged. You have to know, their prices kind of before you meet them, and it's set up. You buy per hour, per type of date. So it might be $1,000 for 1 hour, $2,000 for 2 hours, or $4,000 jump up for 3 hours. And then for us, I think sugar babies, we meet one guy instead of multiple guys. We'll try to usually work on one and build a relationship and mostly financial. So definitely the finances have to be there, but you still want to build the relationship so that it would be longevity. I would like to get the same money. I think most babies would like to have the same sugar dad supplying money for a long time as opposed to a whole bunch of them.
So because one of the questions that people had asked too is a lot of people were very curious, like, hey, I want to kind of potentially dabble in this, but I don't want to have sex with any of these men or women. Do you have any friends, anybody in your network that is actually doing that? Or
No.
No. Okay. No. Ultimately, or they're doing some sort of Skype session, right?
Right. So you can do it. I mean, I guess it depends on the guy. If you get him super old, then maybe he can't perform. My ex, I bought my Range Rover. He couldn't perform. So we've tried only once in our whole relationship. And, that kind of worked. That worked for me. I don't really mind, though. If I'm attracted to you, then, we can have as much sex as you want.
I think there's a perception that women who are in the adult entertainment business, that something has to be wrong with them. That they had a horrible upbringing. They they were abused. I think people think to themselves, how can you do this and not feel uncomfortable, or so talk to us about that. You're obviously in a very high-end network. Do you feel that way about yourself? Do you feel like you have a lot of confidence? You certainly put that out there, but I'm not sure, is that the reality for most women?
So I am very close with my family. I love my family. I go see them a lot. They were just visiting me this past weekend, and I don't know. Ever since I was young, I think that I knew I was going to be a sugar babe because I used to ask my mom things all the time, like, "Oh, Mom, if Denzel Washington asked you, can he marry me? Will you give me away?" And she used to be like, "No." And I used to be like, "Why? He's rich, please." And she used to be like, "No, he's old. He's too old, Iman." And I used to be like, "It doesn't matter."
So you wanted to be basically a child bride, like before,
Before that was even like a thing.
Before it was a thing, like you're 12 years old, asking your mom to let Denzel watch. You amaze me. Okay, so this has obviously been, that's amazing. I've been reading Oprah Winfrey's. Oprah would love to be on this conversation. Her The Path Made Clear, and she always says, she interviews a bunch of people that they knew what they wanted to do when they were a young age. That's amazing that you wanted to be a sugar babe since you were like 10.
Like, he's rich and old. What else do I need?
We're all out here trying to be teachers. You're like, you know what?
You're ahead of all of us.
You're amazing. So, okay, so you are close with your family. You tell your mother this Denzel story. Then we're
My mom's probably watching.
Oh my! So
What?
your
You're
mom
that
is like
open?
supportive.
Oh my God.
That's amazing. So what does your mom say to you? Is your mom like thrilled? Like she's like, okay, cool. Like is your mom basically Kris Jenner getting you cut? Like
I wish my mom was Kris Jenner. I'm like, Mom, you should have pushed me harder. But but no, I think she's just supportive. She doesn't say much about it. Sometimes I still get nervous because I definitely don't want to say the wrong thing or make her feel disrespected, or that I have, low standards for myself in some realms, because it is kind of hard to understand, especially everybody's mental is different. For me, I'm very happy with what I do, and I meet amazing people. I just try to find the good in the situations. Like, even, I have to say this really quick, even if I meet a guy, right, that I feel is very unattractive, I only focus on the things that I find attractive about him. Because if I focus on the things that I find unattractive, then I won't even be able to make it through the date. Like, I dated a guy, and he was curvy. I mean, he had huge hips and, like, a big, big butt, and he was bow leg. And I'm like, I can't believe that I'm dating him. So I would just make sure I only look shoulders up, because he was handsome in the face, but his body was absolutely not my style. He was like a woman with a large butt. And I'm like, I can't.
so he had sagging like man tits and a big booty.
Yes,
Okay.
a really big booty though.
Oh boy.
Like,
I know
think you
that guy.
understand.
They have like huge bubble butts. You're like, dude, I can't. I
And I'm
can't.
like,
Like it just.
Jeez.
I don't want to discriminate. I love you, but this
Yes.
bubble butt is like too much.
So I just focused on all the things that I did like about him, and it helped make it easier for me.
That's great.
So, okay, age go, because I've got 1,000 questions, then I got to do a lightning round with all of
Oh,
our.
yes. Really fast one. I wanted to ask, can you have a normal relationship with somebody that you actually could see yourself marrying, or is
Yeah.
that not even in your realm of thought right now? And have you ever told a boyfriend that you were dating that you are actually a sugar baby?
Yes, I kind of bring it up sometimes more often than I should. But I will definitely get married one day and settle out of the sugar baby realm, which is why I moved to Stockholm, Sweden in August for graduate school to get my master's.
Amazing.
And then I plan on doing some other things eventually and getting married.
Oh my God. Really?
A
We love
very
you.
wealthy
Like, we
man.
want you to come back every month and give all your tips and tricks. This is like amazing. We got to Skype you in from Stockholm. If we bring
Meet
up
a
the
Swede.
Skype and you're in a diaper, that's it. We're going to be like, with it.
I'll be like, oh, she went down that path. Okay.
I love it. Wait, okay, I gotta ask this part too, though. So the interesting part about this is it really does become a network. Like you talked about a gentleman that kind of plugs you guys in, okay? And I love that's not like a pimp. It's more somebody that seems to be in the network of other rich people.
Yes,
Okay.
he definitely receives nothing from me or anything like that. And I think pimps get like cuts. He just only connects me with great people.
And so it does sound like the more you're in this business, you kind of begin to network with people who connect you with very high-end people.
Yes.
Are you ever concerned, though? I mean, because even though, look, I feel like prostitution, in my own personal opinion, should be legal. I think if two adults want to pay one another for sex, it should be completely fine. But do you ever worry about any of a lot of people feel like this is still a criminal act. Like, do you ever worry about your own personal safety law-wise?
No, because I feel like I'm in a relationship. Like, I see the same people for years. Like, one of my friends, he just won governor in one of the states in Nigeria. And I just saw him like a few days ago, and I've been knowing him for maybe 5 years now.
Hits rewind, hits Google again. We got to Google so many people. Nigerian president, Forbes. I mean, these people are... Oh my God. And what's the deal? Are they not they're just what, with women that are boring? So they're like seeking out other arrangements, do you think?
Now, I have no idea.
The foreign guys don't talk about it. They don't really say.
Yeah, they don't really say. I know that they definitely date other women, and I hate it. But
do you get jealous?
yeah, I do, because I'm just like, how are you giving them money? Where's my raise?
If you're going to be giving them money, I need a raise.
All right, I want to tell you, a lot of people have questions for you, specifically about men. How do men become sugar babes? Now, are they hooking up with other guys mostly, or are there sugar mamas out there?
Oh, there's definitely sugar mamas. I don't know exactly where to find them, but when I went to LA at one point in time, my first time on Rodeo Drive, I'm seeing like, oh, these big, nice Rolls Royces drive by, and I'm like looking in the car to see like who's driving these cars, and they're all women. You know, lonely women who are shopping, I think, with their husband's black card. Those would be like the ideal sugar mama for me, or ones that have their own career. But I mean, like the lonely, like wives that have very busy husbands that are never around. I'm like, I should get a sugar mama next.
Yes. I mean, because I think a lot of people had questions about that. You also put up commonly used sugar bowl terms. Now, what does sugar bowl mean?
That is the network that all the sugar babies are in. So, and sugar dads. So all things sugar, we just call it the sugar bowl.
The sugar bowl. Okay, and you posted some of the popular terms. You say POT is potential. I'm assuming that is somebody that could potentially be a sugar daddy or sugar mama.
Yes.
You say NSA, no strings attached. Now, when you're in the network, this is people either like texting you this kind of stuff or there's.
Sorry.
No. Go ahead. You go.
They'll have it in like their bios.
Okay, in their bios.
Things. Yeah. So, like I know sometimes on Tinder I used to see like, oh, just want to meet up and have drinks, no strings attached.
Got it. You also refer to there's splendid daddies. This is someone that doesn't quite.
I like this one.
This is our favorite. Someone that doesn't quite have the funds to be a sugar dad, but can still make a good friend.
Yes.
That shit's fake.
Daddy.
That shit is fake.
That's who we're meeting at every event we go to. A lot of Splendas.
That's hilarious. Yes, I have a Splendid dad. Most of my Splendid dads are my old sugar dads that I thought I was making a lot of money with, and now I have new ones, so the old ones have become Splendid
And you're like,
dads.
peace,
I
bye,
still want to
I'm
be their
making
friends.
way more money
But-
with my other sugar daddies. Deuces.
I want your mom on next. I'm not like in love with your mother. It's amazing.
She's so cool.
You also have a salt daddy. That's a
Oh,
phony
yes.
that usually tries to get as much as he can for as little as possible. The trolls of the sugar bowl.
Oh yeah.
I bet there's a lot of those.
We talked about, so I met one of my guys last night, and we talked about it. He was like, yeah, I was looking for your blog, because I told him all about it on our first time meeting, just because he was, I don't tell everybody about it, but he was pretty open, so I told him about it, and he fell in love. And he was like, I was looking for your blog last night, and I ended up finding this term called salt daddy. And he's like, they have a how-to on how to be a salt daddy. So there's a how-to, a real how-to, I can't believe it, I want to get it deleted, on how to be a salt daddy. So apparently you get on a social media thing and you tell them that your job is something that they can't look up, that it can't be found. You tell them that you only make about $2 million. I mean, that your net worth is only $2 million, so you can't be Googled because it's not enough. And then you make about $300,000 a year, but don't go over that. These are like the rules of how to be a salt daddy and get profiles online.
Wow. Man, the scammers are real. They're out there.
Oh my gosh,
Now-
they're so real. Scary. That's the scariest part, I think, about the sugar bowl. I think all newbie sugar babies should be extra careful because there are scammers out there and people that do, who think lowly of us and don't really understand and, will try to hurt you.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah.
For aspiring sugar babies, what's a good rate that they should be going for? If they should be weary of, if that's too low?
When I first started, I would take like $300, and this was before I met the guy that gave me the 3 times. So when I first started, I didn't realize I was kind of a sugar babe, but guys would still like just give me money. So they were giving me like $300 and then $500, and then all of a sudden it jumped to $1,000, and then it jumped to $2,000, and now
Is
it
that
just
from
goes
like word of
there.
mouth or just from doing it longer?
This is from doing it longer and then meeting better people. So I definitely
Got it.
don't try to convince. I will. I'll tell some if it's too low, I wouldn't take it. I mean, if I don't want to go on a date with you, you offer me to go on a date and you're paying me, $300. I'm not going.
Right,
Me
right.
personally, but if you're in the beginning, you should go get to know people, learn how to talk, learn different things. That's a good experience. You'll get to learn so much. I've learned so much stuff just from meeting all these different men.
So what is your plan like after this? Do you want, you're very young, and you look very young. So, are you going to keep this going or are you kind of like salting away? You're essentially also, you're having sex with these guys, getting paid and going to business school. You're like doing everything we want. So but at some point I'm thinking maybe this doesn't do the same thing for you. So
Right.
have you thought about future plans?
Yes. So I want to move to Seattle, Washington, and I want to work for a tech company. I'm not sure which one yet. Maybe Amazon.
Oh, really? You'd be great at Amazon.
They're moving here.
Watch you end up like marrying Jeff Bezos. Like, just our luck.
He's like, funny
oh my
you
God,
said
sweet
that.
talk.
I went on a date with him last week.
Yeah. Okay, sweet talk. People want to know that, by the way. Any famous clients that you have that are your sugar daddy or have thought about becoming your sugar daddies?
No, I don't meet any famous people that like me. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Are there actually famous guys
I'm
that
surprised,
are
yeah.
sugar daddies?
Oh, I
Or
bet.
have
I
been
think
known to be
so.
sugar daddies? I'm sure, yeah.
I bet Tristan Thompson,
Jeff
you know.
Bezos is one.
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
Yeah. Bezos. I mean, you know, you kind of already answered this, but people are wondering if you're exclusive to one sugar daddy, but you sort of said no. And the sugar daddies seem to be okay with that, right?
Yes, I'm not. They actually don't know about each other at all. They don't ask. But if I did find one that, I saw regularly or that asked and still could afford everything, because at this point, if he asks for it to be like only him, he's going to have to take over all expenses. Yes. So if he's ready for that, then, we can start working on being just
where's the
one-on-one.
ring? Yeah, show me the ring.
You also have ways you say to begin to ask, because a lot of people want to know, how do you initially meet them? So my question was, do you recommend any websites? There's tons out there. Seekingarrangement.com is one of them. Yes. I think there's actually sugarbaby.com. Are any of those legit that you would suggest for people?
I think if you're really good on the internet, I think you should try it. I'm honestly not the best at making bios and, getting people's attention. So I usually meet most of my people in person. But Tinder is actually my favorite. I use Tinder Gold.
Really?
Tinder Gold?
Yes.
That's like Starbucks
Tinder
Gold.
That's like, what, $20 a month? Is it $20 or $30 a month? And it allows you to search certain zip codes, right?
Yes, you can change your location with the passport.
Boop, 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 boop. Amazon headquarters.
You can
Jeff
take
Bezos.
off your age. You can take off your location so no one can see how close or far I am.
Oh, that's good. And what age range? We're doing like 30 to 75?
I do 40 and up.
40 and up.
Yeah.
40 and up.
Yeah. Who's to say we can get a 95-year-old that's like can't do anything?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm
Truly.
literally, he's hold my dentures while
You're
I
like, where? For how long? You mean put it on my tip?
my
Here we go.
diaper. Okay, I'm gonna go. Shit, is this worth 10K?
Tinder Gold is my favorite.
Is this worth 10?
Oh my.
Okay, what are some of the red flags though? Because I do feel like there are some scammers out there, especially maybe when you're getting into foreign gentlemen. These men should be giving you cash, right? Or if they're like, oh, hey, I want your bank number, or is this going through Cash App? How is it that because I feel like scammers now, they all want you to log into your computer.
Right.
They'll pay you right back. Maybe they just hit me up. I don't know.
So I mostly get paid in cash. Sometimes people use Cash App.
Okay.
I don't really use Cash App because it's not secure. But if I do, I just connect my debit card and my bank. No, neither of those are connected to my Cash App unless I absolutely need it to be and I need to transfer money. Then I'll connect it really quick, transfer it, then unconnect it. Excuse me. Also, I use Zelle because it just takes the phone number or the email.
Zelle. Okay.
So if they ask for my bank information, I usually will say, I just use Zelle. Now there has been times where I've actually had to give full bank information because they are out of the country.
Like a routing
but these
number?
were definitely, yes. I mean, everything. Like I had to give like bank location, address.
Not your social security. Never give that away.
No, I didn't give that. But it only happened twice, and these were both guys that I really trusted. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't. Yeah, at all.
You also have on Sweet Talk Blog Instagram, be sure to follow her there. You have a guide, basically, like if you don't want to get on Tinder, you have 10 questions to ask a POT, which we found out is a potential to help determine the type of daddy he is. I particularly like number 1. You say adventure, ask him about hobbies, specifically golf. You say that if he's a member of a golf course, that's a great giveaway. But if he enjoys Topgolf, that is a sign you're dealing with a splendid daddy. That's the men in our lives. AJ just went on a date to Topgolf. My man's always like, I'm going with the guys to Topgolf. You don't have a nickel.
So
forget it, Splendid Daddy. No, I gotta go hang out at Congressional Country Club. That's where we need to pay.
That's where the sugar daddies are.
God, they're so old though. I don't know how you do it. I mean, I have dated. I used to have like the, I talk about it in this show, and you don't know me, Sweet Talk, yet. But my dad passed away in high school, so for a while I did have this older guy fetish, which I think did go back to childhood trauma. So I would go out with these guys that were 15 years older, 18 years older, and they had pools. They were very rich. I could never after a while, I was like, I don't want to spend my Saturday while you're gone to the golf course. You know, like I want to hang out with someone youthful and young, not someone that's like covering their body in Ben Gay. But then the other problem is they have really old balls. Like I give you so much credit because when you go down there and there's just a sea of gray, I don't know how you do it, girl.
I hope they're shaving.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're 55. They've
Are the balls crinkly?
They're worth
They're
millions.
actually really nice.
I am dating all the wrong people.
Wait a minute. You're telling me these guys are 40 plus and their balls are not sagging?
No.
What?
Oh my goodness. I should show you guys pictures.
Yes,
Can we
want
please?
to see photos.
Do you
We
have
want to
any
see
right
photos.
now? Can we do it live?
Look, we have to. You have been absolutely fabulous. You have a lot of people on YouTube right now supporting you, part of the Sugar Babe family. A lot of people just saying like how wonderful you are. They take Cash App. I'm just so grateful that you were here because I think you give us a great insight into a whole nother life that people are living. And I think it's so brave of you to put it out there as people judge, who cares? Like this works for you. You live a healthy lifestyle. Your family's supportive and that's all that matters. So Sweet Talk, we're obsessed with you. We really don't want you to move to Sweden.
Stay here a little bit longer. I was like, do you want to go out tonight? Because we're...
Yes. Okay, where do you think in Washington, D.C.? See, you haven't been here long enough, but
I know.
What should we go be hanging out at the Ritz-Carlton, at the Four Seasons? What do you think? And then I'm just going to bring up your site, POT. So, are you a member of a golf club or what?
And I truly believe that. So people say, how do you find out that if they're a sugar dad or not? And I'm like, well, if you talk to them, eventually they'll say things, like, I don't know. If you just ask different random questions, like you'll see, oh, my favorite steakhouse is Longhorn. And I'm like, oh, pass.
Pass on that one.
I think
Ruth's
we
Chris?
should do a reality show with you
we
and
like
your
Ruth's
mom.
Chris? Okay.
I
I
think
like Ruth Chris is okay.
I really want to pitch a reality show with Sweet Talk and her mom. And we go to the Sugar Babe house and we take 10 random women, all shapes, sizes, and ages, and she tries to train us to be sugar babes. And then we have to go out on the weekends and see who can score cash. And we do it only with what we've got.
And then we come back to the house and we're like, how much did you make?
And then Sweet Talk and her mom can just they can Kris Jenner and Kim us, like, great job. And then someone can be crowned at the end with a Range Rover.
The major sugar babe.
I love that.
I'm serious. We're pitching that show. Do not steal it, everybody on YouTube. I'm telling you. Copyright. How funny would that be? It's got to be women of all shapes and sizes and ages. Because some of the women surprise you, right? You don't have to be super hot.
Oh my goodness, no.
You got a great personality. Like you go out there, you can make a lot. I'm just gonna say, I think I'll win the show. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. My marriage will be over. My marriage to Schman will be over. But I will look good in that range.
I don't have a ring yet, so I can be funny.
I'm just going to slip this right onto the other finger.
There we go. And look how Schman, are you watching?
Okay, Sweet Talk, we're in love with you. Please tell everybody, so many people supporting and showing you love. Tell people where they can follow you. Do you accept DMs from any of our listeners that may have questions, follow-up questions that they would like to ask you?
Yes, I accept DMs on Sweet Talk Blog. And I'm on there all the time, literally. All the time. My phone time, my screen time has went up like 20 hours.
Okay, so Sweet Talk Blog on Instagram. Stick around. If you guys have additional questions, you can hop on. We have to say, though, today we have an amazing woman in studio who was in for a real treat. This woman is probably like, oh, Lord. I know. It's a good thing hundreds of people are watching. Free to Move is an awesome sponsor of the Hey Frase podcast. Natalie is here. She works for Free to Move. You're probably wondering, what is Free to Move? It is an awesome car sharing app that started in Europe, but it is here in Washington, D.C. This show is possible because of Free to Move, and we ask you guys the best way to support us and AJ until we get our sugar daddies at 10 grand a month is to frequent our sponsors, okay? So when we have a sponsor, when you download their app, when you use our codes, that's how you're helping AJ, myself, any guests that we have that are awesome on the show, like Sweet Talk, to bring them here to DC. That is where all your money is going. So we want to bring Natalie on. Natalie, come on over. I think we can bring Natalie over. It's probably safe because we're taking our Sweet Blog woman outside of the studio.
Keep that up.
Do you want Natalie? Do you want to stay inside the Sugar Babe box? Okay, Natalie, you have been an incredible sport. Before we talk Free to Move car sharing, what are your reactions? Give us your honest reactions because you're like a true viewer of today's show.
I don't think I was fully prepared for this.
Can you believe this? Like, isn't this crazy? This is so fascinating to me that people are living this lifestyle and we don't really know anything about it because you and I are like working 9 to 5s.
I'm in the wrong line of business here. No, I actually had a friend that I knew in Chicago that talked frequently about this. Never actually went through with it, but it was sort of a joke between the group about her potentially wanting to go on these sites and stuff like that. But so I've heard a little bit about it, but to actually have one live and in living color here was a really like crazy experience.
Now, will you audition for the Sugar Babe home? Because, I mean, I feel like you're a fun girl, I can tell. So, like, I think you do very well out there. Yeah. You and I'd be, like, a lot of fun. We'd tag team those guys, be over. What do you think, Free to Move? Will they give you the time off?
I think that's off the table for them.
Look, you guys are awesome to work with this show. Tell us what exactly Free to Move car sharing is. I'm going to adjust your mic while you do that.
Okay. Yeah. Free to Move is a car sharing app, as Sarah mentioned. And we have 600 vehicles, SUVs and sedans that are all over the district. We're actually going to be expanding soon to Arlington, Virginia.
Awesome, where I live.
We don't have any official dates for that, but stay tuned. And everything is very convenient. It's all through your phone. You download the app, you unlock, reserve the car and the trip, hold on to it. That's the park and come back function. Everything is through the phone. So the key, everything. So you don't have to worry about it.
And so tell me this. What I love is I don't own a vehicle. I downloaded your app. It takes about 24 hours, right, to get cleared. So if you're thinking about Free to Move, you want to pick up a car in Northwest today, Northeast DC, you want to take a trip out, go do some shopping out in Maryland, come back. You need about 24 hours, right, to get cleared because you upload a picture of your license. So you guys have that. You just basically say, hey, I agree to this, and then, very easy process. I've done it. But is that the average for people?
I would say we allow up to 48 hours just as, just to be safe, but we try and get to it as quickly as possible. Oftentimes, we're getting to it same day or within the hour or right away, but we say 48 hours to allow people to have that time so they're not feeling rushed if for some reason they think it's going to be right that second. And
you guys have all different car shapes and sizes, right?
Well, we have an SUV, which is the Chevy Equinox, and then we have the Chevy Cruze, which is a smaller sedan, so much better for driving around the city and parking. And
forgive me, but I can't remember. When I go on and search the app, I can search the sedan, right? Or the...
So when you click, so what will happen is a map will pull up on the app and it will have all these little dots that are kind of connecting themselves to your location. So it's going to pull up automatically the one that's closest to you. But yeah, you can click on each one of the little circles and it'll show you, actually at the bottom, it'll show you not only what kind of vehicle it is, how much gas is in the vehicle. It will show you the minute rate and everything that you need to know. And then you just reserve it from your phone and then you can walk. The map will pull up exactly where you need to go.
And tell me more about that, because one of the things that I love is you guys take care of gas, insurance, obviously all the wear and tear on the vehicle, which is fabulous because until I found you guys, I had rented a vehicle in my apartment, but you have to fill up the gas. So nothing is worse. You've got all these groceries. You've just come home. It's pouring rain. And P.S., you got to go back out, fill up the tank, or you get penalized. So how does it work with you guys?
So all of the gas that's included in the tank. So again, you can check the gas that's in there before you reserve the vehicle. So there's no surprises. And then when you actually show up to the vehicle, you can use all of the gas in there. And then if you have to fill beyond that, let's say you're going on a weekend getaway and you need it for a little bit longer, or you're just going on a long drive, you can actually submit your receipt and we will reimburse up to 125% in credits back to your account. So if you were, let's say it's a $25, up to $25, let me throw that out there. So, but it goes on as credits into your account.
Amazing. Yeah. By the way, Natalie is here from Free to Move car sharing app. So it's free, the number 2 move app. You can download it right on, if you're an Apple phone user like I am, you just go to the app store, boom, it's right there. Free, the number 2 move. And they also are doing a great credit with Hey Frase listeners. So it's free to register, download Free to Move, and then you'll get a $20 driving credit when you use Frase or Hey Frase. But Frase, F-R-A-S-E, as you guys know, you enter that, you get $20. And I just love the convenience. But by the way, when I go to your website now, can I also book an Uber or a scooter through you too?
So that's not actually, that is our website for the aggregator app, which it's still the same company, but I particularly focus on the car sharing company. So it'd actually
Gotcha.
be free to move carsharing.com. But yes, we do have an aggregator. So when you go to the App Store, sometimes people get a little bit confused because there's two apps. There's what we call the white label. It's just a white background, the free to move without the car sharing. And that actually tracks all mobility options, scooters, bikes, even competitors, all of that stuff based on your location. So it's very convenient.
Yes.
Everything's all in one area. You can still download that. It's totally free. And go in conjunction with the other app, which is the actual car sharing app where we have the 600 vehicles. And that's a black background. And it says free to move car sharing. So just one extra word and you'll find it.
Good. I love it so much. And you include insurance, which is awesome because like when I had a vehicle, I mean, just the insurance alone was just thousands of dollars every year. It was so much work. You guys have that covered as well. So I don't have to get any additional insurance when I pick up my free to move car.
Yeah, that's right. Parking, fuel, insurance, it's all included. So all metered residential zone, you don't have to worry about all those permits and everything. In DC, you can start and end your trip and you don't have to worry about it. It's been so convenient. Obviously, I drive, free to move vehicle around DC. I actually live in Baltimore though. So, we hope to expand to there eventually. And it's very convenient. I just pull up and the trip or park and come back if I have an errand to run and I don't want to lose the vehicle. You can hang on to it too.
Do you have to, you don't have to drop it off at the same location, right? Like
No.
You can drop it off anywhere in the city.
It's great because we're actually free floating. So some of our competitors are station based. You have to pick up kind of like a traditional rental.
Right.
So it kind of takes that convenience away. But the great part about us is we're free floating. So you pick up one location, you end anywhere in the district as long as it's at a metered or residential zone parking and you're covered. You don't have to dig in your wallet for change or anything like that.
Oh my gosh, Natalie, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. It was such a treat. I loved looking at your face and our intern Jackie is here. I mean, it was just such a crazy show, wasn't it? It was incredible.
It was awesome to be here. Thank you so much and congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you. We're so thrilled to be partnering with you. It's free to move car sharing app. As I mentioned, you guys, the best way to support this show is to support our fabulous sponsor. So download the app. It's completely free. You get a $20 credit just by using code FRASE when you put that in, and it just takes 24 to 48 hours sign up. Boom.
I just remembered something. So I'm going to let you guys in on a little, inside scoop that we haven't announced yet. But for Memorial Day weekend.
We've given you so much scoop today. Yes.
Yes, just for you listeners. We're actually going to be having a Memorial Day weekend promotional pricing. And so the whole weekend, instead of our normal $79 a day, it's going to be $59 a day. And with gas, insurance, parking, everything included, it's much cheaper than renting a vehicle. So if you need to make some plans, make sure to hit up Free to Move Car Sharing and we got you.
Oh my God, you're so great. Thank you so much. You guys, thank you for being on the show, being on the live stream today on YouTube. Subscribe to Hey Frase on iTunes, the podcast. This show will be out. We can't thank our Sweet Talk blog woman enough. She was incredible.
She told us way more than I even wanted to know. Old men's balls aren't saggy.
I mean, at least you're not going home to a man that's 40 years old in a diaper trying to get his mom to call him mommy. Okay, we're all doing better than that.
Bedwetter.
Yeah, you bedwetter. You naughty boy. Let me change that diaper. Okay, bye. We're out of here. Bye.